Hello and welcome to another Spanish lesson with me, Eva. Today I will teach you the Spanish articles. Okay, so as promised, today I will teach you the Spanish articles. I've already mentioned them before when we talked about nouns and the gender of the nouns. Why? Because articles sort of accompany the nouns, okay? We don't say a big, no, big is an adjective, but we do say a house. We can then describe the house and say a big house, but a is here for the house, not for the big, okay? Same happens in Spanish, okay? So a noun can come either with a definite article, which in English would be the, or with an indefinite article, which in English would be a, or sometimes we add an N just for the easier pronunciation, okay? So a or an indefinite article and the definite article, okay? Same in Spanish, okay? Let's start with the. Now, as you know, nouns in all languages have plural. Okay, they have singular and plural. So we have, I don't know, a pencil, one only, and then we have pencils when we have two or more. We can have a tree and trees. We can have a bubble or bubbles, okay? So nouns have singular and plural form in, I would say, all languages, but in Spanish, they also have they can also be either masculine or feminine, not both, okay? They are either masculine or feminine, and the articles, both the definite article and the indefinite article, will have to change accordingly. They will have to reflect the singular or the plural of the noun, and they will also have to tell us if the noun is masculine or feminine. Okay, let's see how the accomplishes this job. Let's say we have a masculine noun, a mirror, okay, espejo. And then we have it in plural, espejos, okay? And then we will have a feminine, I don't know, let's just say casa, a house or a home, and in plural, casas, okay? So, the definite article, okay? The definite article, and then and the indefinite. For espejo, the definite article in Spanish is el espejo. If it's plural, it's los. El espejo, the mirror, los espejos, the mirrors. Indefinite article, un espejo, a mirror, just any mirror, or unos espejos, some random mirrors. Okay? Un and unos for masculine nouns. Un in singular and unos in plural. Let's see what happens with the feminine nouns. We have an example of casa, and the definite one for the feminine nouns is la casa. Okay, la, and in plural, las. The indefinite one is una casa, and plural, unas casas. A house, any house, and some houses. Unas casas. Okay? La would be the house. La casa de mi madre. The house of my mother, even though a lot of Spanish people will say it like that. The house of my mother. And I always say, no, my mother's house, just my mother's house. But anyway, you know what I mean. La casa de mi madre. Las amigas de mi madre. My mother's friends, no? Las amigas. I'm not talking just about any friend or friends. No, I'm talking about my mother's friends. It's very... I'm defining, saying exactly which friends I'm talking about. So that's why we use the definite article las. Las casas, las amigas, etc. Okay? So the definite article in Spanish has 4 different forms. One for singular masculine, plural masculine, singular feminine, and plural feminine. You might want to even write it el, los for masculine, and la, las for feminine. This is the definite article, 4 different forms. Singular and plural masculine, singular and plural feminine. Same with the indefinite article. We have un and unos for masculine nouns, and una and unas for feminine nouns. So in English we are dealing with 2, the and or un. In Spanish we have 8, 4 indefinite and 4 definite articles. Why? Because they need to reflect the number of the noun, is it singular or plural, and the gender, is it masculine or feminine. Okay, so when you combine the 2 plurals and the 2 genders, you get 4 different forms of the indefinite article and 4 different forms of the definite article. And speaking of articles and speaking of nouns, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again now, and I'm sure I'm going to repeat it again in the future. When you learn a new noun, when you learn not any new word, a noun, always make a point of learning the gender as well, okay? And as you repeat it, because you do have to repeat it just on its own, okay? Not even in sentences. As you repeat it over and over again until you memorize it, always repeat it either with the indefinite article, for example, un espejo, un espejo, un espejo, and you say it many, many times, and you really sort of remember it together with un, or with the definite article, el espejo, el espejo, el espejo. And you have to be conscious that you are repeating a noun that is masculine. This el is not just a sound that you make. It has to carry a meaning. You have to know that when you say el espejo, you are aware that this espejo is a masculine noun. And when you say la casa, or if you prefer to use the indefinite one, una casa, una casa, that you are not only learning the word casa, you are also remembering, you're also memorizing, you also want to store the information that the casa is a feminine noun in Spanish, okay? So always learn them together. The article always with the noun, or the noun always with the article, and then you will, it will be much easier for you later when you have to use that noun in a sentence and you want to describe it. It will be much easier to quickly tweak these words that describe it, these descriptive words, tweak it so that they also reflect the gender and the number of the noun, okay? But first you need to understand that that noun is either masculine or feminine, okay? Good. Okay, good. Before I go, don't forget to subscribe, and that way you will, no, actually you have to subscribe and hit the bell button, and then you will be notified each time I publish a new lesson, okay? So do that before I leave, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.